lives lost in the fire as this entire community comes together to pick up the pieces.
If you've had your COVID booster shot already, is it time to get another one? I'm working for you to find that answer coming up.
A beloved firefighter from Chula Vista in the hospital tonight fighting cancer. We'll tell you what the community is doing to support him and his family.
Have you ever seen these puddles? Well, they're actually vernal pools teeming with life.
And Bob Taylor from Taylor Guitars has a gift that keeps on giving for Earth Day.
And a former Marine who led a double life as a drug trafficker is sentenced to prison. CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now. A former Marine stationed at MCAS Miramar will spend the next 12 years in federal prison for his role running fentanyl across the border. Good evening, I'm Jesse Pagan, in for Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. As CBS 8's David Gottfredson reports, prosecutors say Roberto Salazar also recruited other Marines into the criminal operation.
Roberto Salazar served as a Marine, but he was also leading a secret life as a drug trafficker and a leader of a drug trafficking organization.
A U.S. Marine working as a radio operator at MAS Miramar appeared in downtown federal court today for sentencing after pleading guilty to charges of conspiracy to distribute controlled substances and importation of fentanyl across the San Ysidro border crossing. Roberto Salazar served as a Marine from 2018 until his arrest in 2022.
He was supposed to be protecting and defending our country, but instead he was bringing tremendous harm to Americans by importing fentanyl and other deadly and dangerous drugs into the United States.
Salazar also recruited 2 other Marines to drive the drugs across the border. Investigators say the operation began in 2015, distributing fentanyl, heroin, and methamphetamine to Los Angeles, Riverside, and Nevada.
Through this case, the defendant has been held to account for his crimes, and we have dismantled yet another link in the supply chain for fentanyl and deadly drugs into the United States.
The U.S. Attorney hopes Salazar's 12-year prison sentence sends a message to other drug traffickers.
Get out of this business, or we will take you out and we will put you in a federal prison.
During the course of this drug trafficking operation, Salazar's father was deported back to Mexico, according to documents filed in the case. At the federal courthouse, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
Thank you, David. Now, within the past hour, Salazar's defense attorney emailed us a statement saying his client accepted responsibility for his actions. Because of that and other factors, he says Salazar got a slight reduction in his sentence. Former SDSU football player Matt Ariza's attorneys want a judge to unseal cell phone videos from a Halloween party where a 17-year-old girl says she was raped. Detectives seized the videos, which show several football players having sex with the girl inside the college area house in October 2021. No criminal charges were filed in the case. Ariza's attorneys say they need to see the videos to defend their client in an ongoing lawsuit the girl filed. CBS 8's learned Ariza does not appear in any of the videos. A hearing on the motion is set for next Thursday in downtown court. You can read our full investigation at cbs8.com. 3 people are dead after a fire burned through a home in the Bostonia neighborhood of unincorporated El Cajon. The flames sparked just before midnight on North Anza Street.
We're still waiting for official confirmation of the identities of the victims, but as CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes found out, they were pillars of their small community. She joins us live now from the East County. Kirsten?
Yeah, I'm here in front of what's left of this home. Take a look behind me. You can see it's almost a total loss. Neighbors were here at the scene trying to piece together what happened because the victims, again, 2 of them died at the hospital and 1 died here at the home. They say that everyone in this community came together and they loved on each other, and that these people were pillars of their community and treated everyone here like family.
They were really sweet people, Marilyn and Herman, and then Ian. They always came over every holiday, every birthday. They never forgot one. The second we moved in, we were like family.
Reagan Seymour lives next door. She says the victims were staples in the community before the fire the night of April 20th. What are you going to miss most?
Just seeing them. We'd see them every day, help them with their groceries. They'd always check in on us like we were family over the past 5 years. they own our home as well. So we don't know what this means for us or for their family, knowing that they just lost 3 people.
Reagan and other neighbors identified the victims as Herman, his wife Marilyn, and their grandson Ian.
These 2 people took their grandson in because his parents couldn't take care of him. They took care of each other, and they took care of their renters.
I was hysterical on the phone with 911 because I knew they were inside the house and how crazy the flames were. There was no way they were going to be out.
Reagan says it was after 11 o'clock when they realized their neighbor's house was on fire. This is video she took with her cell phone.
When we started coming out, the whole thing just went boom. It had been maybe 10 minutes, and then there was another loud explosion.
It was something out of like a nightmare. The flames were way past the trees, past the pole. Like it was looking up, like you couldn't even see sky. I was in the living room. I thought the living room light was on, but the flames were so big that it was just lighting up everything.
Firefighters say they were already here putting out the fire before finding out that someone, and what we now know to be 3 people, were inside the home. Now, it's too early in this investigation to tell what started this fire, but what we can tell you right now is that this community is grieving this loss. Reporting live for CBS 8, I'm Kirsten Holmes. Back to you.
Thanks, Kirsten. A man was hit by gunfire in a shootout with sheriff's deputies early this morning at a home on White Lilac Road in Fallbrook near Kendall Farms. A woman called 911 around 1 a.m. saying her husband was making suicidal threats and that there were 2 children in the house. Deputies say the man opened fire when they arrived and they returned fire. The wounded man was taken to the hospital. We're told no one else was hurt.
Only took a few days to go from cool and cloudy to the San Diego we know and love.
Warmed up fast. Chief Meteorologist Carly Chavis is here early tonight to tell us if this warmer weather and sunshine is going to carry us through the weekend.
No.
And that's your forecast.
I said what I said.
No delay there. Just right at it. Just pop that bubble.
Well, we are looking at more sunshine, which is not going to be as warm as it was today. So that's the trade-off. Today was the peak of the heat. By tomorrow, temperatures start to come down, but we're still holding on to sunshine, and we're going to see more cloud cover in the days ahead, starting by next week. So this is the view gearing up for that sunset. That's going to be at 7:23 for tonight. Your highs today were on the toasty side. You're looking at the low 90s. That was for Fallbrook, the same for Escondido. We had the upper 80s for La Mesa as well as for Valley Center. And 82 degrees for downtown, also talking about 80 degrees for Encinitas. So we are going to have temperatures on the downward trend. That's going to be the case starting tomorrow, back into the 70s for the coast, and then those 60s really win out. So that puts us in the near seasonal range, even a little bit below seasonal Sunday through Tuesday. Also taking a look at inland highs, we're going to be in the 80s for tomorrow. We had widespread 90s, so you do hold on to it. A few high clouds out there, and then cooler by next week, right back to a seasonal high of 72 by Tuesday. We'll take a look at your complete forecast coming up. Jesse?
Thank you, Carlene. A beloved Chula Vista firefighter is now in the fight of his life, battling leukemia. CBS 8's Brian White shows us how the department and community he helps protect is now supporting him.
He puts others first, day in and day out. He's a person that's just always present. He's there for you. Like, he's just such a giving and caring person. And that's who he is. That's what he represents.
Chula Vista Fire Chief Harry Munns has worked with Ding Hua Nguyen for over 20 years, from his early days as a firefighter to now as a fire captain. Proudly married with 4 kids. When he was diagnosed with leukemia, Chief Munns couldn't believe it.
It obviously was shocking. You know, he's a young man. He's in his early 40s. Cancer's a horrible thing for anyone, but so young, it definitely grabs your attention.
Ding Hua has been at UCSD Medical Center in La Jolla for about a month now, undergoing treatment.
It weighs on his mind day in and day out, being confined to a hospital room, even though he knows he needs the treatment, but not being there for his family, not being here for his crew, and ultimately not being here to serve the community.
As part of his role at Fire Station 3, Captain Nguyen is involved in a lot of training. Here he is teaching younger firefighters how to rappel.
We'll carry rope in a bag while we're rappelling, and it'll feed out of the bag. You just got to make sure there's enough rope in that bag to get you to the bottom.
One thing about Ding Hua, he's been a regular blood and platelet donor for over 20 years, giving once, sometimes twice a month. In fact, it was his last donation that led to the early detection of his leukemia. So in his honor, a blood and platelet drive is being held on May 4th at the Red Cross in Kearney Mesa.
We need to do a platelet drive on his behalf so that, at least while he can't donate, others can in his name.
Danquois' treatment has involved chemotherapy, and if it all goes well over the next 4 weeks, he'll be released to outpatient treatment for an additional 5 months.
We need more people like him, and I think the community is at a loss without him. And so the quicker we get him back, selfishly, I think the community will be a better place.
To help with mounting costs, friends of the family set up a GoFundMe so people can give back to a man that's given so much. For the link to that and more information on the blood drive, just head to CBS8.com and click on this story. Brian White, CBS 8.
We're wishing him well and a full and quick recovery.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow's Earth Day, but the county got busy raising awareness today.
Yeah, an Earth Day fair at the County Operations Center in Kearney Mesa gave people a chance to learn about conservation and wildlife. Some brave souls even stepped up to hold one of those famous hissing cockroaches. Park officials also talked about tree planting and ways to volunteer.
And when it comes to Earth Day tomorrow, CBS 8 is teaming up with I Love a Clean San Diego for the 21st annual Creek to Bay Cleanup. Thousands of your neighbors, friends, and family will be out at dozens of locations around the county to collect trash before it reaches our waterways. Both Sean Stiles and Evan Arani from our Earth 8 team will be there. You can sign up on cbs8.com/community, and there are many locations where you can contribute.
Yes. Still ahead, the new recommendations from the CDC for the COVID booster shot.
Plus, the World War II veteran who's making a milestone birthday with a lot of help from his family and the community.
And the Supreme Court's decision to keep mifepristone on store shelves for now.